This is REMAX Boulder Video Podcast. I'm Duane Duggan here with DB Wilson today. We love having DB give us a hint as to what's going on in the market. He is an expert in the marketplace, studies the statistics all the time, and then also he has the ability to watch REMAX Boulder do its thing as we get going each year. And what I mean by doing its thing is REMAX Boulder in 2015 sold $1 billion worth of real estate in the Boulder area. So DB, thanks for being here, and you're truly an expert on the market. One of the things that I've noticed is the stats that you keep about the inventory. What I have in my head is about the last 5 or 6 years, and each year the inventory has gotten less and less. And from what you're telling me, it's about 20% less than what it's been in the past. So inventory is going to be low again this year.
Yeah, Duane, actually it's even lower in January than it was a year ago. So it's the decline is continuing. But we did end the year with 453 active listings. What's interesting about that, though, is 47% of those were under contract, which shows the strength of the market. It's clearly a seller's market. And from that, when you look at the median sales price and the average sales price, both of those were up. Median was up just about 9%. Average was up 10%. So we're seeing that appreciation. And whenever you think of more than 30% under contract at any one time, that is pressure going up.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that's interesting is we did sell a little over 3,500 total single-family homes last year, but 122 never sold. So we had 122 expired listings. So it's not just a matter of putting your house on the market and expecting that it's going to sell. We've also got some challenges with the new lending rules with TRID, and that's kind of extending the offer to close time because there's more hoops that have to go through. But there's a lot more involved in selling a home, and so it's vitally important that you work with a realtor.
Okay, and when you said we sold, you meant realtors in general, not just REMAX Boulder. You're talking about the whole marketplace, correct?
This would be the Boulder Area Realtor Association.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Let's share the stats that you think that are relevant relative to the single-family ones today.
Okay, well, we've touched on a little bit, but that median price, when I say that it's gone up just under 9%, that equates to almost $40,000. And the average sales price is up at actually $52,000 for that 10% gain. So, great time to own property. We expect that is going to continue, maybe not quite at that pace, but it's really important that you get into the market now and buy a home.
Okay. Any other stats that you want to specifically share about the single-family market?
Right now, based on the current active listings that we have and our sales pace, that tells us how many months of inventory there are. We're at 1.5 months.
Okay.
And a stable market would be considered to be 5 to 7 months of inventory.
So one more indicator, it's definitely a seller's market out there in the world
Absolutely.
today.
Absolutely.
Right. And how about attached dwellings?
Okay, well, we look at those same 10 vital statistics, and it's almost scary how little inventory there is. We finished the year with only 65 active listings in Boulder County. That is off significantly, about 40% of what we ended at the end of 2014, so it'll give you some indication. Because of that, you can expect that there's a greater percentage increase both in median and average, and we've seen that. Median is up actually 15.3%, and the average sales price is up about 13.5% over a year ago. The other really interesting one of the things that we look at, one of these 10 statistics, is the sales price to list price ratio. And for attached dwelling, 101.3% is that sales price to list price ratio. And what that indicates is that a seller is getting more than asking price. And was pretty clear to see that that's happening because we're having multiple offers on all listings. So putting a great deal of upward pressure on prices. Again, it's a great time to sell, and it can be a little emotional and frustrating for a buyer.
Okay, so it's a pretty rough market out there for buyers, great market for the sellers. What's your gut feel of the next few months ahead?
I think it's going to be more of the same.
Okay.
I think we've got a lack of inventory. We've got a lot of buyers that are in the marketplace that are interested in home ownership. Matter of fact, we had 115 showings on Saturday alone, which is pretty high for February. Probably contributed by the great weather that we've had. But I think that shows the number of buyers that are out there looking actively in the marketplace.
And on a very limited inventory. One of the things that we see too on the daily updates we get, like on today's update after a weekend, I think there was no new listings in Louisville, no new listings in Superior. So this is the time of year when inventory starts to come on, but it's not coming on with a vengeance, if you will.
Exactly. We talked about 5 to 7 months of inventory being a stable market. In attached dwelling, we have 3 weeks of inventory.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It will be interesting as we update you in the future as the market continues throughout the year. DB, thanks for being here and keeping us updated.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Duane Duggan, Remax Boulder Podcast, signing off.